What's up, guys? It's Cool Cat Master back with another video, and today I decided this video all on my own, like my usual videos. But today, since I went to the ocean like 2 or 3 days ago, I'm deciding to make this video. The ocean is way deeper than you think, and we're about to see how deep this ocean goes. So, before we get into it though, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and turn on notifications.
The ocean is really, really deep. The ocean is really, really deep. Deeper,
No.
in fact, than most of us realize. If you were to shave off all of the land from the tops of every
Why is this like
continent
Minecraft?
and island in the world and fill up the ocean's deepest points with that land, then the entire Earth would be covered in an ocean 2 miles deep. 3/4 of our planet is already covered in
True.
water, though, and it goes a lot deeper than just 2 miles.
What
Let's start
are
with
2
a sense of
miles? I
scale.
need to stop this
dot
video
right
for a second. So our ocean goes deeper than 2 miles. I'm pretty sure 2 miles is maybe like, what, 50 feet? I gotta figure out the math later.
here is the size of an average human.
Wow, we're
This slightly
tiny.
larger dot is the size of an elephant,
I can see
and
the
this
elephant.
is the size of the largest ship ever built, the Knock Nevis.
Not gonna lie, I thought the Titanic was the biggest ship ever built. Like, for real. And this video is literally 6 minutes. How do they explain how deep the ocean is in 6 minutes? And my video, be on the lookout tomorrow, because I'm going to be doing a video of how deep the Earth goes. So stay tuned tomorrow, maybe like between 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. tomorrow for the video. Just thought I'd point that out. Let's get back.
With that in mind, let's start going underwater and see what we find out. The first milestone is at 40 meters below the surface, which is the
Already ship.
maximum depth allowed for recreational scuba diving. A
I've
little
never went
further
scuba
down at
diving.
93 meters is where the wreck of the Lusitania was discovered, which is interesting because the Lusitania itself is 240 meters
What?
long, which means that it sank in water shallower than it is long.
That is
So if
crazy.
the ship was standing on its stern or bow, it would be sticking out of the water.
Well, we're
Just
glad that
slightly
hasn't
deeper than
happened.
That, at 100 meters is where diving can become seriously fatal if you're not careful because of decompression sickness.
Okay.
But that didn't stop a man named Herbert Nitsch to accomplish the free diving world
Someone
record at a
went
depth
deeper
of
than 100
214 meters. This guy swam down to this level with just one single breath.
Excuse me, what? He went 214 meters below the ocean with one single breath. Like, shut the front door right now. I can barely hold my breath for like 30 seconds. So that must feel like if you're 214 meters below the surface, that means he hold his breath for like a long time of like 2 minutes at my calculations. Sorry, let's get back.
But a little further down at 332 meters, we have the scuba diving world record, which was accomplished by another man named Ahmed Gabir. If he had swam down another 111 meters, then he would have reached the height of the Empire State Building if it was
I didn't even know. I've only seen the Empire State Building in like Spider-Man movies. I didn't even know how tall it was, but that's pretty tall for a building.
submerged underwater. And a little further than that, at 500 meters below the surface, we arrive at the maximum dive depth of blue whales, the largest
love blue
creatures on the
whales.
planet and also the limit of the U.S. Seawolf class nuclear submarine. At 535 meters, we can witness the maximum dive depth of emperor penguins, and this is when we must bring up the intensity
Penguins go deeper than whales? Excuse me?
of water pressure.
Water
At this
pressure,
level
okay.
below the surface, the water pressure exerted on a person or the penguins would be roughly equivalent to a polar bear standing on a quarter. So further down
A polar bear standing on a quarter. That literally makes zero absolute sense to me. But I'm guessing if I was the quarter in that predicament, then that would be pretty heavy.
the depths at 830 meters would be the height of the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, the tallest
Dang.
building in the world. Once we hit 1,000 meters below the surface, we begin to enter the scary zone.
Okay,
Light from the
that-
surface can no longer reach
Not gonna lie, I thought there was some gonna... I didn't think that the scary zone was actually gonna be a place. in the ocean. I thought it would be like somewhere, like there maybe like a scary forest or something, but I didn't think that there would actually be a scary zone in the ocean. I'm just pointing that out. Back to the video.
This point, so the rest of the ocean below is shrouded in permanent darkness.
Dark?
On top of that, the water pressure you would experience at this point would be about the same as if you were standing on the surface of the planet Venus, meaning that you would die very quickly. You would also meet the giant squid at this sea level if the water pressure didn't all...
Look at us human right there. That's us. And look at how big that giant squid is. If I saw that thing in the middle of the ocean, and I was that deep, I would freak out and run to the surface as fast as my feet could go. So I'm just glad I didn't go that deep in the ocean. But when I was at the ocean, there was a bit of a riptide. I went to the beach, I had a lot of fun. So yeah, I had a good time. Just thought I'd tell you about my vacation a little bit as well, since this video was inspired by me going to the beach.
Ready kill you. At 1,280 meters, we reach the maximum depth
Turtles?
dived to by the leatherback sea
I didn't even know turtles could go that deep.
1,828 meters, we would reach the deepest part of the Grand Canyon, were it to be
Dang, that
underwater
Grand
with
Canyon
us.
is deep.
Down at 2,000 meters, we start to encounter some of the more terrifying sea creatures, like the ominously named black dragonfish, a carnivorous beast with a stomach that doesn't allow light to be emitted through it. Meaning that since we're in total darkness underwater at this point, the only way you would ever see this thing is with...
Yo, that thing is freaking scary. I would not want to see that. It feels like something that looks like too alien, or something in somebody's nightmares, to be actually an official creature, not gonna lie. Like, that's what I feel like about that black dragonfish. And as you saw, before they put that flashlight out, we could only see his eye. So that was pretty crazy. Jeez.
The flashlight. A little further down, at 2,250 meters, we would reach the maximum depth dived to by both sperm whales and the very frightening colossal squid. Sperm whales often have sucker marks and scars left on their bodies from battles with the colossal squid that likely take place at these incredible depths.
So that means literally, so they're basically like giant, like colossal squids and sperm whales basically fighting at these depths every day, and we don't even know a fish about it unless we watch these videos. And my question is, where did they get this information from?
The squids themselves can grow to be 14 meters long.
14 meters long. And that's us, again, compared to that thing. That is just terrifying. I wonder what it would be like to see that thing on land. That would be kind of terrifying. I've always been terrified, though, in the ocean that, like, something would come out. Like, maybe some sort of great white shark, maybe, or a box jellyfish would come out.
150 kilograms with eyes the size of a dinner plate and razor...
Eyes the size of a dinner plate? That means their eyes are basically bigger than our head. And it looks like they got some sort of razor claws that could probably dig through our skin. That's just terrifying.
Sharp sickles in the middle of their tentacles. So yeah, good luck with that down there. Way further down at 3,800 meters, we can find the wreck of the RMS Titanic.
Oh, the
Titanic. Past that, at 4,000 meters, we start to enter the abyssal zone of the ocean. Water pressure is at an astonishing 11,000 pounds per square inch down here.
God.
And there are numerous strange, almost alien-like creatures that inhabit these depths, such as the fangtooth, anglerfish, and viperfish.
And where do we figure out about these creatures? So we got a fangtooth and anglerfish. I've heard about the anglerfish from, like, the movie Finding Nemo. And then I didn't even know that there was some type of thing called a viper fish, to be honest. It doesn't even... Like, they do look pretty alien, like you just said. I'll give them that.
Down at 4,267 meters is the average depth of the ocean where you would normally expect to hit the floor, but there are parts of the ocean that go significantly deeper than even this. At 4,791 meters rests the wreckage of the battleship Bismarck sunk during World War II.
World War
Way
II?
down at 6,000 meters is the beginning of the Hadal Zone, named after the underworld Hades itself.
Named
the water
by
pressure down at these
Hades?
depths can become 1,100 times what you would experience way back on top at the surface, which is roughly equal to an elephant balancing on a postage stamp or a
An elephant balancing on a postage stamp. That makes no sense.
single person carrying the weight of 50 Boeing 747 jumbo jets.
So us lifting times 50 jumbo jets is the size of water pressure 6,000 feet below the ocean. That is just crazy. Imagine if somebody went down at those depths. That must have been crazy.
Down at these depths, you would be crushed immediately without any outside protection, but life still exists down here in various strange
Life
forms.
still exists?
At 6,500 meters, we reach the maximum depth that the DSV Alvin can dive to,
Okay, so that's
a
how we
popular
know
research
everything that's
submarine
down
that helped
there.
to discover the Titanic. Way further down at 8,848 meters below the surface, and we have arrived at the height of Mount Everest. where
Mount
to be
Everest
upside
is
down
that
and placed
high? Excuse me? I didn't even know how tall Mount Everest was, to be honest.
underwater. And then, way further past even that, at 10,898 meters, we arrive at the depth reached by James Cameron in 2012 during the Deep Sea Challenger.
Excuse me, somebody went that freaking deep below the freaking ocean. Are you kidding me? And look at how deep we are. 10,898 meters below the ocean. Oh my god. And I'm guessing kind of nearby the surface where, like, you would probably see, like, coral reefs and stuff. If it actually existed, SpongeBob would be around there. That's just my opinion.
The deepest point in the ocean yet reached by humans was back in 1960, though, when two men
1960.
named Don Walsh and Jacques Piccard reached a depth of 10,916 meters using their Trieste submarine. It took them 5 hours to descend
5
through
hours?
the ocean to this depth, and they only stayed for 20 minutes before a window cracked and they began to resurface.
Don Walsh and Jacques Piccard made it 10,916 meters below the ocean in 1960. And like it just said, though, that they stayed for 5 hours. They went down 5 hours. So that means they went 5 hours back up with a broken window. That means, like, maybe at least 50 ounces of water got in that freaking submarine.
Just a bit further down from there at 10,972 meters, and we reach the average flight altitude of a commercial airliner. So if you've ever looked out of a window while on a flight and looked down to the ground, that's a very good sense of how incredibly deep down into the abyss that we are currently at.
I guess that makes sense. I've never
Finally,
been on a plane though
when we
before.
hit 10,994 meters, we have hit the bottom of the known ocean called the Challenger Deep, right here
Challenger
on this
Deep.
map, just about 300 kilometers southwest of Guam Island. However, it is believed that there are almost certainly even deeper parts of the ocean than this that just haven't been discovered yet.
So they're... Dang.
It wasn't until 1997, after all, that the Serena Deep was discovered with a
Serenity?
depth of 10,732 meters, making it the second deepest known point in the ocean. It is estimated that only about 5% of the ocean's floor has
Excuse
been
me,
accurately
what
mapped,
the
leaving the other
What the fuck? Only 5% of our ocean has been fucking explored. Maybe some, like, aliens gotta be living down there. They probably ain't in space. They probably down there in our freaking ocean. Because, like I can see right now, 95% of our ocean has been unexplored. Like, shut the front door.
5% to be currently a mystery. It may be only a matter of time before an even deeper part of our ocean is found, and who knows what we
Of
may
course, it
discover
shows something like a
there.
freaking kraken. Well, I guess that's gonna be it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.